All right. If you would please grab out your maintaining a balance unit test review. We're going to go through each individual question one by one. All right. Number one, 3x plus 4 equals 22. I'm going to solve the equation, show all steps, and I'm going to check my answer. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the line down the middle of the equation symbol, and then I'm going to move on. So I see that I'm adding 4 to the left side, and my goal is to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 4 on the left, and what I do on one side, I must do on the other. So 4 minus 4 goes to 0. I'm left with 3x is equal to, well, 22 minus 4 is 18. I need to do the opposite of multiplying, which is going to be dividing. So I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. Well, 3 divided by 3 goes to 1. So I have 1x is going to equal, well, 18 divided by 3 is 6. So x is equal to 6. When in this right here, I want you guys to make sure that you pay attention very closely. This is showing all of your steps. On your test, if you just give either one of us the answer of x equals 6, we will take off points for no work shown. You have to show us how you came up to the answer, all right? Now, going back to checking your answer, well, every time I see an x, I'm going to plug a 6 into it. So 3 times 6 plus 4 is equal to 22. 3 times 6 is 18. And does 18 plus 4 equal 22? And it does, meaning that we solved it correctly. All right, number 2, 7x plus 5 is equal to negative 9. I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. 5 minus 5 is 0. I'm left with 7x is equal to, well, 9. Negative 9 minus 5, so I'm going further into the negatives, is going to be negative 14. I'm going to divide both sides by 7. 7 divided by 7 goes to 1. I have x is equal to, well, negative divided by a positive is a negative. 14 divided by 7 is 2. I'm down to x is equal to negative 2. All right, so everywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug it right back in for 7, or not 7, but I'm plugging it back in for x. So 7 times a negative 2 plus 5 is equal to negative 9. 7 times negative 2 is a negative 14 plus 5 is equal to negative 9. Well, negative 14 plus 5 means I have to actually subtract the two numbers, which I'm going to get 9. And I had more negatives in the beginning than I did positives. So negative 9 is equal to negative 9. All right. Number 3, it says, what are the steps you would use to solve for this? All right, so I just need to find my steps. So I'm going to go ahead and solve it at the same time. So my first step in order to solve this is I have 22 plus x over 2. Well, this 22 is being added to this side. So I'm going to take away 22. So I'm going to subtract 22 from both sides. 22 minus 22 is 0. I'm left with x divided by 2 on the right is equal to, well, let's go ahead and do 22 minus 14. I need to borrow and carry. Well, 12 minus 4 is what? That's 8, 9, 10. That's 10. And 1 minus, or wait, that goes to 1. Yeah, okay. I'm like in this. Wait, no. 12, 4, wait, that's 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Wow. Okay, 8. There we go. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. So I'm left with 8 right here, and I had more negatives, so it's going to be a negative 8. All right, I see that I'm dividing, so I need to do the opposite of dividing, and that is multiplying both sides by 2. And I'm going to have x is equal to, well, negative times a positive is a negative, and 8 times 2 is 16. So x is equal to negative 16. All right, so letter B, I have 2x minus 9 is equal to 4. So I'm going to draw my line straight down. All right, and then I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So the first step is add 9. Oh, I didn't finish out the second step. Second step was to multiply 2 to both sides. Okay. All right, add 9 on both sides. So I'm left with 2x is going to be equal to, well, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is equal to 13. The second step I need to do is divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by 2. So I'm going to go over here, 2 on the outside, 13 on the inside. 2 can go into 13 6 full times with 1 left over. Well, the point of division is to get down to a 0. So I need to add a decimal and a 0 underneath. Bring my decimal straight up. Well, 2 can go into 10 5 times. And 13 divided by 2 gives me x is equal to 6.5. X is equal to 6.5. All right. Letter C, x over 2 minus 9 is equal to 4. My first step I'm going to do is add 9 to both sides. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. I have x over 2 is equal to, well, 9 plus 4 is 13. My second step I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite of division, and I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. So times 2 times 2. To get x is equal to 26. X is equal to 26. All right. All right, number 4. All right, number 4, the angles below are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles means that these two are 180 degrees. Write an equation to solve for the measure of angle y. Okay, so I know that with supplementary angles, they're equal to 180. So my equation is y plus 77 is equal to 180 degrees. You can also write 77 plus y is equal to 180. Both ways is going to be correct. Now, we have to use our equation to solve for y. So I have y plus 77 is equal to 180. I'm going to subtract 77 from both sides. Okay. To get y is going to equal, well, I need to borrow and carry 3, 0, 1. To get y is equal to 103 degrees. Number 5, my angles are vertical. In vertical angles, they are equivalent angles. They are equal to one another. So write an equation to solve for x. So this angle is equal to this angle. So I'm going to have 3x plus 20 is equal to 92. I need to solve for x. I need to see what is x going to equal. So I'm going to subtract 20 on both sides. To have 3x is going to equal to 987, 72. I need to divide by 3 on both sides. I'm going to get x is equal to, well, let's go ahead and see, 72. 3 times 2 is 6. One more, bring down the 2. 3 can go into 12 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12 with 0 to give me x is equal to 24. X is equal to 24. All right.
Here's what I found.
Oh, sorry. All right, number 6, use the pan balance to answer the following question. Use the symbol shown on the balance to let the rectangle equal x and the box equal 1. So I need to create my equation. Well, on the left side, I see that I have 2 x's plus 5 boxes is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And now I need to solve my equation to determine what the balance is equal to. All right, 2x plus 5 equals 13. My first step I'm going to do is subtract 5 on both sides. 5 minus 5 is 0. I'm left with 2x is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8 is equal to 8. I need to divide by 2 on both sides. To get x is going to equal 4. X is equal to 4. All right, number 7. Use the pan balance in the equation. All right, I need to create my equation again. Well, I see on the left side that I have 3 x's plus 6 1's is equal to 3, 6, 9 is equal to 9. Determine what the balance is x. So what does x equal? All right, so I have 3x plus 6 equals 9. I need to subtract 6 on both sides. 6 minus 6 is 0. I'm left with 3x on the left is equal to, well, 9 minus 6 is 3. I need to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I have x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. All right. Number 8, we are to write an inequality to describe the situation for each of these. Okay, the minimum age for voting is 18 years old. I'm going to let A represent the voter's age. Okay, so I have 18 and I have A. All right, so we're going to say A is you. At what age can you start voting? You can start voting at 18. So can you be 18 years old to vote? Yes. Can you be older than 18? Yes. Can you be younger than 18? No. Okay, so remember our inequality is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, meaning that A needs to be greater than or equal to 18. Meaning my alligator has to be eating A, because if my alligator was eating 18, that tells me 18 is the largest number and all my A's need to be smaller than 18. So in order to show that the minimum age is 18 years old, A can equal 18, but A has to be greater than 18. It has to be bigger. So start like 18, 19, 20, so on and so forth. All right. The Kingsville High School Booster Club is sponsoring a car wash to earn money for a new soccer uniform. They've already raised $250. Each car is worth $3. Okay. And then how many cars? C. Well, they have to wash to collect more than 400. Okay. So I started with $250. Each car that I wash is worth $3. So I'm going to say I add $3 for every car that I wash, which I'm saying is equal to C or X. Okay. And I want to collect more than $400. So I need to know, which way does my inequality need to open up? Do I need to open up to 400 to say, all right, my highest is 400? Well, wait, my problem says more than 400. So my inequality needs to open up towards my equation. Now, can it equal 400? Well, based on my problem, it says no, it needs to be more than 400. So it's just 250 plus 3C is greater than 400. All right, number 10, solve and graph the solution. Okay, graphing an inequality is the same thing as graphing an equation. The only difference is if we multiply or divide. So multiply or divide by negative, we flip sign. Okay, that's the only difference when graphing or when solving an inequality. All right, so 3x plus 7 is greater than or equal to negative 5. I need to subtract by 7 on both sides. 7 minus 7 is 0. I have 3x is greater than or equal to, well, 7 plus 5 is negative 12. Because I started at negative 5 and I go 7 more into the negatives to get me negative 12. I need to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And it is greater than or equal to, well, negative divided by a positive is a negative. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Just because my answer is a negative answer does not mean I flip my sign. I divided by a positive number. That tells me my sign stays the exact same. So I have a greater than or equal to, so that means I'm going to have a closed dot at negative 4. And my x values are all bigger, which means I'm going to shade to the right. All right, number 11, 2x plus 4 is less than or equal to 20. Draw my line. I see that I'm adding 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. 4 minus 4 is 0. I have 2x is less than or equal to, well, 20 minus 4 is 16. My next step to do is divide by 2 on both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I have x is less than or equal to, well, 16 divided by 2 is 8. All right, well, I have a less than or equal to, so that means I'm going to go over here and find 8, and I'm going to have a closed dot at 8. And my x values look like they're all smaller than 8 because 8 is my largest number. He's being eaten. So I'm going to shade to the left. Shading to the left. All right, number 12. Number 12, I'm going to bring down my sign. Or my line here. I have 21 minus 9x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Well, 21 is positive. It's being added, so I'm going to subtract 21 on both sides. 21 minus 21 is 0. I'm left with a negative 9x is greater than or equal to, well, negative 6 minus 21 is negative 27. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is a positive 1. Now wait, look, I divided by a negative. So what happens to my sign? My sign flips to the opposite direction. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So I'm going to find 3 right here. I have a less than or equal to, so I'm going to place a closed dot above 3. And it looks like 3 is the largest number, so that means I'm going to shade to the left. Shading to the left. All right, number 13. I need to write and solve an equation for each problem below. Rachel ordered early learning software for her daughter for an online retailer. Each item costs, so each item is $6.50. There is a shipping fee of $8.50. Write the equation to represent the number of software S Rachel ordered if her total cost was $80. Okay, so I have a shipping fee of $8.50. Each item is worth $6.50, and I spent $80. Okay, so my ending balance is $80. I spent $80. I have a one-time shipping fee of $8.50. And each item that I bought from the company is $6.50. So I have to do $6.50 times S or X times S plus my shipping fee of $8.50, and I'm setting that equal to the $80 that I bought. So I need to solve for S. I need to figure out how many items did I buy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract $8.50 from both sides. $8.50 minus $8.50 is 0. I'm left with 6.50S is equal to, well, I need to borrow and carry. So that's going to be 0.00. That's going to be at 9, and this is at 10. Well, 0, 10 minus 5 is 5. Bring down my decimal. 9 minus 8 is 1. And that goes to 7. 7 minus 0 is 7. All right. The next step I need to do is I'm going to divide by 6.5 on both sides. And I'm left with S is equal to, all right, so I got 6.5 on the outside, 71.50 on the inside. I cannot have a decimal on the outside, so that means I need to move my decimal to the right one time to get a whole number. And I'm going to do that on the inside as well. And I'll bring my decimal straight up. Well, 65 can't go into 7, but it can go into 71 one full time. Okay, I need to borrow and carry. 11 minus 5 is 6. Bring down the 5. Well, 65 can go into 65 one full time. With nothing left over, I still have that 0. 65 can go to 0 0 times, which means S is equal to 11. So there are 11 total items that S can be equal to. All right, let's try another one. Number 14. A country fair costs $9.50 to enter, plus an additional $2.50 per ticket for rides and food. All right, so what is the total cost below if the tickets were purchased? 4 tickets. Okay, well, I know that one ticket is $2.50. So I'm going to say $2.50 times 4, because I bought 4 of those tickets. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. I see that I have 2 decimal places, so I'm going to move my decimal 2 times to the left. Well, I still have to pay the $9.50 to enter into the park. So I'm going to have $19.50 for 4 tickets. Well, what if I bought 7 tickets? Well, I need to do the same thing. So I bought 7 tickets at $2.50 each. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14. 15, 16, 17. At 17, 2 decimal places. I need to add my entry fee back. 0, 5 and 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 9 plus 7 is, 18, 9, 17, 16. 16 plus 1 more is 17. And then 2. I should get $27. Okay. Well, now I want to write an equation to represent C for any number of tickets purchased. Okay, so my total cost, the 27 this, I want to know what did I do to every single thing. So if I bought one ticket, what would you do? Two tickets, what did you do? So what did you do when we bought 4 tickets or 7? Well, you took the 4 and you multiplied it by 250, or 7 and multiplied it by 250. Well, what if you bought in number of tickets? You would have 250 times n. Well, after we did that, what else did we do? We have to add the $9.50 for the entry fee. And this gave us our C, our total cost. All right, so use your equation to determine the total cost. The family purchased 12 tickets. So I'm going to have C is equal to 2.50 times 12 plus 950. All right, so 250 times 12. Well, 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. All right, placeholder. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. Add these up. 0, 5, and 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Out of both, I have 2 decimal places, so I'm going to move it 2 times to the left. Well, I have $30, and I need to add my $9.50 to it to give me $39.50. So my total cost for 12 tickets is $39.50 for 12 tickets in the entry fee. All right, number 15. Jada is draining her fish tank at a rate of 1.2 gallons per minute. She's draining. Her fish tank contains 114 gallons of water. Writing the equation to represent the amount of water W in the tank after it's being drained per minute. Okay, so the first thing is, what do I start with? How much do I start with? How many gallons of water? I start with 114 gallons of water. If I am draining water, am I adding it or am I subtracting water from my tank? Well, draining, I'm taking away water from my tank. And how much water am I draining per minute? I'm draining 1.2 gallons per minute. And it tells me for minute to use it as T. And this is equal to W. Okay, that is equal to W, the amount of water that is left over. All right, use the equation to determine how much water is in the tank if Jada drains the tank for 20 minutes. All right, so where I see the T, because it's 20 minutes, I'm going to plug a 20 in for T. So 114 minus 1.2 times 20, and this should equal W. All right, so 20 times 1.2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. Placeholder, 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. Add these up together. I have a 1 placeholder, so I'm going to move my decimal 1 time to the left. So I have a 114 minus 24 is equal to W. So I'm going to have 114 minus 24. Well, 4 minus 4 is 0. I have to borrow and carry. 11 minus 2 is 9. So after 20 minutes, there is 90 gallons of water left. All right. Number 16. Sienna is running a 26-mile marathon. The table shows how far she ran at different times during the race. Choose the equation that represents the table for the distance Y Serena ran for X hours. Okay, so my time, remember the left column is always X, the right is Y. To find the equation that best fits this, I'm going to take my X values and my Y values, and I'm going to plug these into my equation. All right, so I'm going to start with letter D. If I did 5 and times 1, is 5 times 1, does that equal 10? No, so this equation is not true. Okay? Well, wait, what if I tried C? Does 5 times 1 plus 10, does this equal 10? Well, 5 times 1 is 5 plus 10, that should equal 15. Is this equation true to this? No. Okay, well, what about this one? I have 1 is 1 plus 10. Does that equal 10? No. All right, what about letter A? 1 times 10. Does 10 times 1, does that equal 10? Yes, that one equals 10. What about 10 times 2? Does that equal 20? Yes, that equals 20. So 16 is A. That's how you would find the equation from your table. Just plug in your numbers. Look, 3 times 10, does that equal 30? Yes. 5 times 10, does that equal 50? Yes. All right, number 17. The graph shows the relationship between two quantities. Choose the equation that best represents the data shown. All right, I see I have my data points here, and I have 2 points here. But I also want to go ahead and just show you guys something as well. Do you guys see how your line is going through this point right here on the, like at the very corner of my box? Do you see how that point right there is going through it? That's how you're to find a coordinate point if you do not have points already. Okay, so if I looked at that coordinate point right here, I would be at 2 and 6. So 2, 6. Or if I looked at this coordinate point right here on that vertice, I would have a coordinate point of 3, 7. So 3, 7. All right, so I need to find an equation that works for both of these coordinate points. Okay, well, let's try the first coordinate point, 2, 6. Well, if I plug in x, y, if I plug in 2 for this x, so 3 times 2, does that get me 6? Yes. Is 2 plus 4, does that get me 6? Yes. All right, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, does that get me 6? No. All right, 2 minus 4, does that get me 6? No, that gets me -2. Okay, well, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2 more. Is that 6? Yes. All right, 2 divided by 5, does that give me 6? No. All right, so I have 3 possible choices. Now I need to see which one works with 3, 7. Actually, we're at that 3, 7. Which one works for 3, 7? All right, 3 times 3, does that equal 7? No. 3 plus 4, well, 4, 5, 6, 7, that equals 7. Okay, we got to try this one. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2, does that equal 7? No. 6 plus 2 equals 8. So the only answer choice that works for both of those coordinate points is B, y equals x plus 4. All right. And then the last one, number 18. Let's see if it'll, there we go. Number 18, I need to find the equation that works for both. So let's go ahead and look. Let's see if we can find 2 more points here. Let's see, does it give me another 2 points? No, it gives me that one right there. Okay, so look, if I were to look right here, could I use this point right here? Do I know exactly what it is? No, it's in between the line. Can I use this one? Nope, it's in between these 2 lines. I don't know what my y value is exactly. I still don't know what my y value is, but look, I know what my y value is on this one right here. It's going to be 10 and 2. So if I look up right here and use this coordinate point, that is going to be 10, 2. So 10, 2. And let's go ahead and use this coordinate point right here. My y is 3, and it looks like I'm going up by 1. So 12, 13, 14, 15. So my next one is 15, 3. And this is x and then y. All right, let's plug it in. 3 times 10, does that equal 2? No. 10 plus 4, does that equal 2? No. 3 times 10, that's equal to 30. Is 30 plus 2 equal to 2? No. All right, we're marking these off. Well, 10 minus 4, I'm going down now. Well, is that 2? No, 10 minus 4 is 6. All right, 2 times 10 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. Does that equal 2? No. Well, what about 10 divided by 5? So I have 10 over 5. Does that equal 2? Yes. Okay, well, let's try the next one. I have 15 for x. 15 divided by 5. Does that equal 3? Yes. So the only answer choice that works for this is F, x divided by 5. If you guys have any questions, please let us know.